Hey guys, I'm Boot. We're in New Jersey, and today, well, let's love and hate stuff. So guys, I just want to touch base with my audience here and let me know if you can relate to this story of situation I'm in at the moment and keep finding myself in, which is a big problem. I work for under the state of New Jersey for DDD. And what seems to happen is every time I have a pay week coming up, which is weekly, I have to call in my hours to my employer, I guess. And then they have to look over the paperwork and approve it. And what happens is that every time they go to log on to their side, there is an issue with the website. Now, the thing is that the website has been changed, and I log on to it probably about 5 or 6 times a week, but my employer logs into it once every 2 weeks. So they don't see the updates that, are listed when there's going to be work done on the site, things of that nature. So they are a little older and they get confused rather easy when it comes to technology. Here's where I have the issue. Not only are they confused when it comes to technology, but the side of theirs that they try to log into always gives them issue logging in. Whether it doesn't actually log them in, or it will log them in and then kick them right out, or it will give some kind of error message. And these are the things I've been dealing with for the last 4 years with my position. I just don't understand why it's so difficult to get my timesheets approved. In this case, it's kind of like saying that if you were to go to your job and your boss didn't know how to use the time clock, and because they didn't know how to use the time clock, well, you just didn't get paid, or you would get paid late when you were waiting for your check to come to pay certain bills. In this job, I was told it's a high turnover job, and I can understand why. But at the same time, I don't need my boss's spouse screaming at me on the phone and cursing at me because I'm trying to explain to him, like, hey, listen, I'm in the same boat here. This is my livelihood. Like, you guys are just having issues running the system. This is my livelihood. I understand it's a big deal. The extent it gets to is just too much to deal with. So at this point, I think going forward, I'm going to have them call and try to put it in, over the phone. My boss over me, is an elderly person. And that tends to be the case sometimes where, the elderly have trouble using technology. And it's so hard to kind of walk them through sometimes. And so that's a thing. Also, the person is also using Firefox. And I have myself had decided that I was going to recoil myself from the Google ecosystem. And I was going to, switch over to, a different browser. One that wasn't giving me issues with YouTube video playback because I have an ad blocker. I feel like my videos not being monetized, but yet YouTube being okay to put ads on my videos allows me to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pump the brakes a little when it comes to the ads that I get to see from you. It's only fair. You make money off my content. I don't have to watch ads. You feel me? Anybody else out there got that same opinion? Leave it down in the comments and let our voices be heard. Anyways, the differences I noticed between Chrome and Firefox, there were a lot. In all honesty, I had a great time with YouTube. I had a great time with most of my daily, websites that I go to. Facebook not being one of them. I do not use Facebook. I only have Facebook Messenger. So the only time I'm on Facebook is to push my videos, so other people can see them that aren't on YouTube. I also have noticed that Firefox has been running a lot more memory than Chrome was. And, I think I have a screenshot of that. If I do, I'll put it up here. But if not, sorry. But, just using 1 or 2 tabs can use quite a bit of memory in Chrome. It's even worse in Firefox for me. And I've done everything I can to, make sure and mitigate, what I have running in the background of Firefox, what is actually running the extensions and mitigating those extensions. There's no good answer, one or the other, what's the best browser, but I will say Firefox has its finer areas as to where Google Chrome has other areas that it excels in. So they're both equally great to use, but they both have their shortcomings. I don't know how many of you guys are football fans of the NFL and want to, watch the games. But I've been noticing more and more as they spread the games out throughout the week, other companies and streaming services are picking them up. And so the problem becomes, people cut the cord because they didn't want to pay a high cable bill. Now we're paying for, in my house, we have 5 different streaming services and maybe one has football. And you know why? Because it's on television. So what? You have 2 channels that show football on regular television, and that's Fox and CBS. NBC is supposed to, but I haven't seen NBC in my area of southern New Jersey, with any recent football games or anything. And even the preseason, like I keep tabs on the preseason. A buddy of mine and I, we go over the scores every week and we pick teams and stuff, just for fun, nothing crazy. But that alone has made me realize how hard it is to watch the NFL. The worst part is, as an Eagles fan, we used to have stations that were from Philly. And so we would get to see the Eagles play. Being a local team. We got, Eagles, we got Giants, we got Jets. That's what's big here. Sure, there's plenty of other fans of other teams, but if you're in the area of where your team is, you would think you would be able to watch the games on your local network television. But you can't. Now they moved it over to Prime, they moved it over to NFL Plus, and YouTube. I mean, come on. YouTube, of all places. This is where we're going to pay you to watch football now. And the prices are ridiculous. I don't feel it's worth $500 for me to watch football, to watch a season of football. But at the same time, what am I supposed to watch? How are you supposed to get into the NFL if you don't watch the games? If you can't watch the games? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like it's another case of culture being kept behind a paywall of sorts. If you aren't willing to fork out $500 to watch the football season, then you don't get to watch football. Or you get to watch the replays. And that's fun. I remember one year for the Super Bowl, I couldn't watch the Super Bowl because I was sick or something. And so I taped it. And I watched it the next day. And it sucked because I think it was the Cowboys and the Bills. So I was like 13. And, I watched the game the next day. I told everybody, like, please don't tell me the score. Don't tell me who won. None of that. I don't want to hear it. I want to watch the game. And I watched the game and I was extremely disappointed because not only had the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, and I disliked the Cowboys very, very much because as an Eagles fan, the Cowboys were usually that last stop before they got shut down for the season. So, I had a very big dislike for the Cowboys. And to see the Cowboys win, I was very disappointed. And it really just didn't feel the same as watching it live. And so, I kind of feel like that's the point we're missing in this day and age, is the live experience that's kept behind a paywall. It's getting to be too much. They're selling off everything they can to make money and not care about the people who enjoy the things that these, people are creating. Anyways, that's about it for this one. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Leave your comments down below with anything I've talked about today and your thoughts on that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.